So what we've got now is I've had a buddy, Spencer, sent me a link for some little LCD displays, and these are actually like $1 a piece. It's crazy how cheap these are, and they're in the U.S. too. So these are literally $1 and probably like $1 in shipping or something. So it's really, really cheap, and there's a tutorial online, and I can post it in the about for this video. The guy has written a library that you can import and get it to start outputting information. Like right now I just got it showing temperature for this temperature sensor, and then the voltage associated with that temperature sensor as well. And still working on getting the decimal place to show, but it's supposed to be 0.79 volts. It's just doing a space instead of the dot. But anyways, that's not really a big deal. But anyways, these little LCD displays probably came out of a phone or something like that. It's got a date of July 4th, 2000, so they're pretty old, but they work great. They're little 7-segment displays. You can do 12 characters, I believe. And there's a decimal place in there if you can get it to show. Only thing you have to do when you get it is solder up some wires on there to your breadboard. I actually just used some of these. So I just did a regular wire. Jamming a regular wire down there is not as easy. So I just put some of these on there and soldered the contacts on there. And it's got the instructions online on which ones you solder and where they go. So it's pretty simple. You just got power ground, your data connections, and then there's also a little display contrast. So, and when you get these hooked up, if you look at it at the wrong angle, you may see all 8s. You have to look at it at a certain angle. I had that issue. It took me a few minutes to figure that out. So once you get it all hooked up, you get a little potentiometer for the contrast display. You get some Arduino code, and after you get the library imported, he's got quite a bit of stuff in here for the actual functions and outputting to the LCD display and whatnot. But once you get down past that and you just get to your code, in a sense, of what you're wanting to do, it's pretty straightforward. He did a really good job of getting these to work right. Only issue I've run into is that you have to output your data as a string. So when you're working with things like integers and floats, well, those aren't strings, so it's not going to output. So there's a function you can use called dtostrf. Basically, you put in your, I've got a float value here, and then you just kind of say, all right, it's going to be 3 characters long with, 2 decimal point precision, and here is the string. It needs to be, basically put that float value in the string, and it does it, and it works really well. Just make sure you've got your, let's see here, where it's, just make sure you get all your string and character variables set up correctly up here, because I ran into, I probably messed around this for a good hour on trying to troubleshoot an issue with this, and it's because I didn't have some of these values set correctly. If you go out to, where's that? Yeah, Arduino's little reference library on strings, read up on that, because you have to, for declaring your strings, you actually have to give it one more, you have to make the array 1 larger than you're actually going to use. And they explain that in here. There's a null value that you don't have to put the null value in there. the compiler will do it for you, but that's what that extra value in the array is for. So you just kind of know what kind of data you're dealing with, because if you don't, you'll get your array set up incorrect, and it stuff won't show up. You won't know. But one thing I've found to help me is if you do output your data to the serial monitor, and that'll kind of help you figure out if it's an issue with the display or the functions for the display, or if it's something you're actually doing wrong. But anyways, once you get all that sorted out, basically you can just say, you know, start combining strings together to output to the display, and how you want those to loop or whatnot. But other than it, after that, it's pretty cool. It works great. These things are $1, and they pretty much work perfect. So I'll post all the links I used for this video, and I will post some of the code that I used that I kind of piecemealed together by looking up, because it's kind of scattered on stuff was scattered around on when I was trying to figure it out, and the guy that wrote the libraries for this and the site he posted on, he didn't really post the stuff that I found that I was wanting to use. So he just kind of shows you how to output your data as like static stuff, which is kind of useless to tell you the truth. So but I've got 2 more here, and you know, probably use those in a future project somewhere. I might actually order some more of these things because they're just so easy to use and neat. But yeah, run on 5-volt power, and pretty much work like you would want them to. So until next time, bye.